Let's try out cheap watercolor paint on Arch, an artist-grade watercolor paper. I have here a 40 pesos pan, less than $1, that I'll use for today's experiment. Here's a simple sketch, and on this side, I'll swatch my cool colors for the landscape, reactivating my paint by spraying it with water. And here are the different colors that I'll try out. I've always wanted to do this experiment, but I'm afraid I'm wasting a precious paper, but today, I'm giving in to my curiosity. I'm quite surprised how pigmented the colors are on this paper. I'm pretty much sure this is not how it looks like on a student grade paper. Right, swatch done. Let's proceed with the painting. I'll post a separate tutorial on how to paint this simple landscape, link above or below once available. My light blue looks good with the wet on wet technique. And now, I'll load my brush with different shades of blue, violet, and later green for the distant trees in the background. Honestly, I'm happy how the paint is spreading on the paper with the wet on wet technique. It's kind of hard to reactivate and load the brush with enough paint that I need, but how it reacts with the paper, I'm satisfied with that. I'm also sure that this paint will not last long, but I'll try to preserve this painting by keeping it away from the sunlight. If you're liking this video so far, please hit that button so others with the same interest will find this experiment. Now I'm trying the dry brush technique with my yellow-green color. I've also mixed some yellow ochre and dark green to vary the colors and create an illusion of depth. The colors are mixing well on wet paper, and I'm sure that's because of the paper and not the paint. That's why I keep telling my students that if they have to upgrade a watercolor material, always upgrade the paper first. And go for a 100% cotton and they'll see the difference right away. This pigment is surprisingly bright and serves its purpose. I'm now coloring in the house with direct painting. So far, so good. And with random shapes, I'll add some bushes in the middle ground. We can see that adding another layer of paint isn't a problem too. Some of these colors are opaque, but do well with layers. The opposite happens when I'm using a wood pulp or 20% cotton paper. I'm now adding defined trees at the background with another layer of darker blues, greens, and violets mixed together. Let me know if you want me to do the same experiment but using the warmer colors. Reds, yellows, oranges, and pinks. Adding final details, windows, doors, grasses. With quick motion, I'm painting the foreground and you can see that the first layer is not disturbed at all. This is a synthetic flat brush, quite hard, but I'm happy that the first layer has settled well on the paper. Some birds to complete the scene and shadowed areas. To balance the colors, I'll add a pop of red on the roof of this house. I love how strong that red is. And here is our painting. Quite surprised with the result, and I can say that I did not waste my materials. Next time, I'll test cheap paint on cheap paper. See ya!